Let's kick things off. Welcome everybody. Welcome back to the best trader I know. I'm here with TraderAG, and we're going to be talking about how can we max extract from pump fund. No, that's not what we're here for. The
That's
price,
that's what.
the price of BTC is currently 115k. I do feel like every time we stream, it's at 115k. A very wholesome story about how I first met AG. We were at an event, and I think it was a pudgy event here in Australia, and everyone was kicking on afterwards to go out for drinks, but AG was very committed to the cause of his half marathon the next morning because he had to get up at around 6 a.m. So he decided to not come out with the boys. Maybe he felt a little bit of FOMO, but yeah, I thought that was really respectable of him. Then we've actually caught up again, went for some food, some coffee. It did start out with the intention of going for a run together, and then quickly realized as AG was running that I couldn't keep up to his pace. So I ended up asking him to walk, and he was a G because he decided to walk with me, which was really wholesome. So, AG, thanks
Yes,
for coming on, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on. I'm
Pleasure.
good. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I was very FOMO. I couldn't go out with the boys that night, but we'll just have to run it back. We'll have to do
Yeah,
it again.
we'll have to do it again. We have to get Luke and X to run back a pudgy event at some point. Um,
Sure,
so yeah.
sure.
But yeah, no, thanks for doing this, man. And honestly, from the way that you are on the timeline, the way that you tweet, I've always wanted to get you back on to talk about that in a little bit more detail. So I wanted to
Thanks,
start
man.
with, uh, like, how did you get into crypto? What was your first original interest?
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, we'll start there. So, essentially, I assume most people who got into crypto are probably the same or pretty similar. Like in school, it's pretty smart guy. I got pretty good grades. I did a commerce degree, and I got like a pretty standard finance job. And like whilst I did it, I was like, this is pretty stale. I don't think I see myself doing this for the rest of my life. And or I don't see this uh, essentially buying me freedom, financial freedom, or whatever, right? Like as most people have that dream these days of like, not wanting to just be stuck into a 9 to 5, look for alternative ways of income. So
Yeah.
I tried a lot of things. I tried a little bit of e-commerce. I tried a little bit of I'm really into fitness, so I tried seeing if I could do some personal training. I love my coffee. I wanted to start opening up a cafe, but I had no money. Little things like that. Everything I looked into, and there was no interest there really.
Yeah.
There was genuinely no interest. And then yeah, like obviously this was probably a scam, but I stumbled across day trading on TikTok and things like that, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. You can like buy low and sell high. This is cool. You can make money. You can make like $500 in a day on a trade. Let me look into this. And I ended up buying like some fucking larpy as courses. I started following calls, and even though like I wasn't making much, I think it was a good way to have like a good introduction into the industry, understand what the hell is futures, how the hell do you even, what is a Solana address, what is Bybit, what is Binance, and yeah, I think the time frame of that was, I don't know, maybe like 2023, so like not that long ago. i'm
Yeah.
i'm relatively new into crypto. And yeah, as I progressed, I realized, okay, these guys are larps. I'm going to start following a bit more genuine things. I'm going to start looking into some actual trading strategies.
Yeah.
And then I realized, okay, I'm not actually too bad at
Yeah.
perfs, I think. And I really enjoyed technical analysis. I really enjoyed the macro effects and looking at what the dollar's doing, what the SPX is doing. The stock market's doing, and seeing how it correlates. And yeah, but I will be honest, I've never been a massive bull of crypto as a whole, and I think the longer I've stayed in it, I'm kind of becoming more bearish on the sector, sort
Mm.
of. Just like I guess like I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I'm
Yeah.
bullish on that as a store of value. You know, obviously as a very wealthy individual, it's essentially digital gold, and you know, hopefully if the code never gets broken like that, there is only going to be 21 million ever, and it's a deflationary asset. So I think it's a very good store of value, and I would, if I was obviously an extremely wealthy individual, I would love to store a lot of my wealth in things like physical gold, but also Bitcoin and whatnot, as opposed to just, you know, in stocks and whatever, property in stocks. So yeah, I'm pretty bullish on Bitcoin, but yeah, the whole industry, I'm not too sure, but we'll talk about that a bit later.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of how I got into crypto. I started off as a perps trader. I was pretty good at it, but I think emotions are high, and I guess, you know, when you're pretty relatively low capital, I think perps is very you know, you kind of always just want to crank up the leverage,
Mm.
and you know, it can go really wrong. So I think it's a lot easier playing spot at the moment,
Yeah.
and then potentially moving back into perps or adding perps as well when I feel like I have the size to play perps properly.
Yeah.
Do you want to keep going on that, or is there another question you wanted to ask?
No, no, no. The floor is yours, man. I was going to ask a little bit more around. You obviously tried a lot of
Uh,
things when you were
yeah,
younger. I think it was like super funny that you said you found something on TikTok, because I think when I started getting into trading,
yeah,
there wasn't a TikTok. So yeah, that definitely shows my age. But when you
yeah.
went down the path of trading, and you said that you purchased a course, did you did you realize that the course wasn't for you because, like, you
Yeah.
didn't think you were learning anything, or did you kind of work out that a lot of people sell courses in general as a form of money, like that's their sort of strategy, rather than
Yeah,
kind of helping
yeah,
you get set up for success
yeah,
as an actual trader?
exactly. Yeah. So, like, to be honest, I give a bit of credit to that guy
Mm.
because he helped me understand what the fuck is even going on. Like, what is a trend line? What even is a bullish candle, bearish candle? I didn't
Yeah,
even know what green candles and red candles were. So, like, a little bit of that was good. But then after a while, I realized, like, these trades aren't necessarily winning, or he'll close them as soon as they're in profit. But then
yeah,
if they're in drawdown, he keeps it open until it maybe comes back into profit. But you know, for most people, they've been stopped out by then. And I realized, and I think like a lot of these LARPs, like good on them, they do well. They're able to convince people that
yeah,
their trades are always winning because they'll always add capital, or they'll always somehow make it work. But execution is actually the hardest thing. And that's why I think like my TA is pretty good. I think I'm not that bad at it, but executing as a perps trader, knowing when to add leverage, lower leverage, add margin, take profit, all those things can like be the difference between being a highly unprofitable trader or a very profitable trader. And that's something that I personally don't think I have mastered yet.
mm,
And this could just be an ego thing, but I think I attest that to not having enough size. Because I think when
yeah,
you're playing, let's say, like if I have like, let's say like five figures or something in a perps account, sometimes some of the wins, like a 4% move, which is pretty reasonable to take profit on, it doesn't feel like that much. And I'm like, okay, well, I have to up the leverage, or I'm not going to go for take profit one. I'm going to wait until it hits take profit three. And before
mm,
you know it, your trade's probably gone back to break even or stopped you out. Um, so that's just what I think, and I think personally, it's not worth playing perps until you're maybe high six figures. You can afford to sit on plays. You don't want to play with more than anything like 2x leverage, to be honest. Like I know a lot of people, or a lot of successful traders who, you know, like they just bought Sol at 20 on like 2x leverage with
mm,
half their account, and they just let that play the whole cycle, and you know they're up fat.
mm,
Um, Whereas, like, you know, maybe I was able to catch a lot of the plays, but I kept on trying to pinpoint the exact point. And if you're off by even, you know, a few days, you can get stopped out, and then the move will happen.
yeah,
Um, and like, you know, if you've got like a few grand on it with 10x leverage, you're probably going to get stopped out. But if you've got like 200K on it with 1.4 X leverage, you're happy to sit and let it play out, and you're not as worried about all these like immaterial moves that are happening. So yeah, and I'm not someone who's a very good scalper, so I don't recommend doing that. And yeah, so my goal, and I'm not there yet. So I know a lot of people on Twitter, like I get a lot of DMs. I think some people, maybe it's the way I come off. I don't want to be a larp. A lot of people think I'm like a very high 7-figure guy. No, not at all.
Chat, he is. He is, I promise
I'm
you.
not like as high as a lot of people think. No, I'm not. I'm not. I promise I'm not. So I wouldn't want to play perps until I can happily have like healthy 6 figs in there
Yeah.
and sit for months on plays and only have to go up to like 1 to 2x leverage. Because otherwise I just don't think it's worth it. I always get that itch to, oh, just, the plays, it's going to play out. You're in profit. Just slide the leverage bar up.
Yeah.
And before you know it, fucking some countries bombed someone and, you've been stopped out. Or your whole
Yeah.
account's liquidated. And like, I just don't think I can continue risking that happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm staying away from perps for now, and I've definitely found a nice edge in the Solana trenches, which is fortunately or unfortunately kind of all I do at the moment.
Mm.
I have, I stack a bit of BTC when I can, but besides that, I just have one wallet which I just purely dedicate to the Solana trenches. Momentum scalping is kind of what I like to do.
Yeah.
And I just like to play out. So I'll keep going. So for example, like, right now we have a bunch of narratives. So there was pump fund memes, bonk memes, ICM, AI, and
Yeah.
now it's CCM.
Yeah.
What I like to do is, and I think this is something where I differ from a lot of traders, is I really like to momentum scalp. So for example, I try not to worry too much about entry and exit. I try to think about what is the current narrative. So right now with CCM, I think this is kind of a bit. I can't play it the best. But for example, with ICM, you pick like the 5 hottest coins. One of like Cled, Dupe, Fitcoin, whatever they were,
Yeah.
and you kind of just play hot potato with them, and kind of what I was doing. And like, I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, I missed this, I missed that," but I didn't really think too much of that. It's more so, do I think this coin can still go higher? If so, I will allocate to it and then just exit. Like even if it's gone up 1.5x, I'll exit fully, and that is the bulk of the move that I've captured, and I'm happy with that. And then I will sell that play and then look in my hot potato list of that narrative, what is maybe down. And this is where TA comes into it.
Yeah.
And you can see like, okay, so that coin, it did its play, and I think it's gone. Now I'm going to look at this other play within the same narrative, which has not had its pump yet. It's Solana. It's what people do. It's what us degens do. We're just going to keep rotating. So if you don't want to get caught holding the bag, it's probably best to sell on an impulsive move, and then find the next one that hasn't had that move yet. So that's kind of what I do, and I think I'm probably the trader that a lot of people hate in the Solana trenches. But I think right now liquidity is quite thin. A lot of people got washed out after Trump, including me. Like I copped some insane round trips, and yeah, like whilst liquidity is thin, you got to be pretty happy with capturing just some 2x moves and moving on. So that's kind of what I'm doing at the moment.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting to see what it is that can bring in that influx of liquidity where, you can just hodl and just let something 10x or let something play out. But I think right now it's just not the conditions for that necessarily. Everyone's still, you'll see a few people on the timeline like, trenches are dead, this is dead. Like, it's not the best, but there are plays to be made, and there is money to be made if you're happy with taking that 2x and moving on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if that answered the question, but yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing for the time being.
Yeah.
As of now, yeah.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
I've never actually heard the term treat it like a hot potato or look at
Yeah.
the trenches that way because I think when the Solana trenches had the likes of Whiff and Popcat, I think the people that got in early and just held on were the ones that were really rewarded. So, what do you think of the differences between 2023 trenches for when you got
Yeah.
involved versus 2025, where we're in now?
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like a lot of the people that kind of brought me into Solana, they were the ones who were able to catch those moves in 2023 with Popcat, with whatnot,
Yeah,
and just hold. They didn't really have to care about what's going on with Bitcoin. They didn't have to care about what's going on with Sol. Just
yeah,
hold, 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 and it worked out. And
mm,
like credit to all the people who did that. And I think it was great, but that was before. That was a bit like I joined the trenches a little bit after that, and I wasn't really able to capture any of those moves. And fair play to all those people because they're probably all way richer than I am. However, I just think right now it's not really as simple as that. Just because there is memes are so much more popular now. Everyone has their own meme that they like. Pump Fund themselves on the banner have like 15 different meme coins. Um, Everyone has their own reason for why their one is going to go to a bill.
yeah,
Even I was obsessed with so many, and I thought this is the one that's going to go to a bill. And I think it's slowly getting washed out.
mm,
And until there is some new influx of liquidity, which Elon, he might be onto something here with CCM bringing in new people, and they each attach themselves of their own pump fund banner meme or something like that. It could
mm,
work out, but until then, I just don't see any of these coins going to billions like they did in the past, and I don't want to get caught holding the bag like I did last time. So now, if I've caught something, I've got a nice 2x on it with size for me, then I'm happy to just leave. I'm happy to exit, sit
mm,
in Sol, and then see what comes next. And as you can see, like there is coins nuking all the time, providing good opportunities to jump in, take that 2x and leave.
yeah,
Like even like Takabu, Dolo, like these are all coins that back in the day, back in 2023, they probably would go to like 200, 300 mil in a few weeks. But now, like they go to 5 mil, nuke back down, maybe go to 7 mil, nuke back down, and I can't stand just holding it and seeing it go up, go down, go up, go down. So when it goes up, I'm gonna sell, and that's probably what everyone is doing now. So that's why they go back down. So you can momentum scalp and trade within it, but I do agree that right now this environment isn't going to bring like new friends into it. Like even like some of my normie friends, as we say, or retail. Like I don't know if they're even ever going to come back, but they're not going to come back from seeing a coin bounce between 2 and 5 mil.
yeah,
So we need to see, and I like it. There has been a few like troll, useless,
mm,
but it's not as simple and not as easy as I think it was back in the day.
yeah,
Maybe it's a bit of cope. I don't know. But I just think that people aren't as willing to just. We lost, essentially, we lost the top blasters. I
mm.
think what happened was when the
Lost the
Trump,
top
when Trump,
blast.
yeah, like we need them to keep sustaining oh, you're okay if you blast the top, you're
Mm,
gonna be all right. And
yeah,
that's what made the coins just fucking send. But now it's like, oh, if I put 10K in at the top, I'm down like 7K. I'm gone. I've fucked myself. So you can't do that anymore. And I think when you can start doing that again, which I'm sure it will come back. But yeah, right now you just gotta, yeah, unfortunately, you just gotta take your 1.5, 2x's and move on and keep doing that until you can slowly stack your port. And it's possible because I've been doing it. I know some people who have been doing it, but
mm,
at the same time, some of my other friends that I know who are like just holders, like nah, I just hold this. Some have worked out, some have not.
mm,
So I don't want to leave it up to luck. And yeah, I just think yeah, right now it's not the time. So yeah, so going in circles, but yeah, I think hot potato is definitely the right way to play, and it's hot potato with narratives. So
yeah,
before it was pump fun. So you could just pick like what Tagabu, Troll, USDUC. I don't know if you know these coins, but yeah, like they're the pump fun memes. And you could just hot potato each one. If one has a pump, there's probably one that nuked. You just sell the one that pumped into the one that nuked, and just keep doing that. You can do that
Yeah.
with ICM. You can do that with Bonk. I'm sure you can do it with CCM as well, but I don't know. With me on CCM, I've just been losing a lot, so I'm not playing anymore. Um, I don't really know anyone who has been making money, but I think there is a lot of money to be made. Like I saw Kind, Streamer, there's a few good coins, but yeah, I just wasn't really aware here for those. Um, and it is what it is. But yeah, so I
Yeah.
think that is. I don't know if that's the best strategy right now, but that's just what I'm finding works for me. I like to call it hot potato, but I don't know if there's a better term for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's good. But yeah, you know how like I think the oh what's the word the draw of crypto is like and I know this is possible because so many people get like just start with 10K and you can become a millionaire, or you can easily go to 100K in a few plays. I think right now that's not happening, unless you're like extremely good, extremely locked in on the trenches or whatever. Even then, I still don't think it's happening. Until that comes back, I don't know if we're gonna see that influx of liquidity where we just send fucking shit to like 100 mil, like Peanut and stuff when that happened. Like I don't know.
Yeah. Peanut was
That being said,
insane.
I sorry, you were saying something?
I just said Peanut was insane when that went off.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that was insane. There was like all of those coins, and I was somehow sidelined on all of them. But like, they were all doing fucking insane. And I don't know. I think I'm hopeful that it will come back, but I don't know. There needs to be like an influx of liquidity somehow. Um, I keep saying influx of liquidity. Funny stat that I think I saw is like, so do you probably know this better than me? Like the total crypto market cap is like, is it 5 trillion or something?
It continues to go up. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So we keep saying influx of liquidity, inferring that like we want new people. I don't think we necessarily need new people because the amount in stables is something close to like 500 bill or 1 trill. I don't know, something like that. So
Insane.
like
Yeah.
that is that is more than enough
Mm.
to like send so many coins to billions, like fucking like send everything. But there's a clear reason that these massive whales are still just sitting in stables. We need them to come back and start aping shitters on chain, which is what they used to do with like Farcoin, Goat, all that AI 16Z, like all those
Yeah.
coins. So yeah, my theory is like some of them just got fuck you filthy rich from Trump and decided to leave,
Yeah.
or some of them are looking at the current landscape and being like, I don't know what's going on, because like even in Seoul, these launchpad wars, like it's all meant to be a community. Like we're meant to all just be Solana boys,
Yeah.
but now there's like bonk and pump and this and that, and like for example that 6-7 meme. I personally think that should be like 100 mil runner. That's the most popular meme at the moment.
Yeah.
But because it's on the launchpad that's not winning, it topped at like 20 mil, which
Yeah.
is quite unfortunate for the state of the Solana trenches.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are my basic thoughts on the trenches at the moment. I know I sounded a bit doomy and gloomy. I'm still very bullish, and I still think we've got like a solid amount to go and a lot of money to be made. And I
Yeah.
do think there will be a period where holders win.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now it's a little bit choppy, and if you're not quite experienced or kind of, good or have an edge, I think it's very easy to chop yourself out right
Yeah.
now if you're trying to momentum scalp or potato.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I'm being pretty chill. I've not been doing a whole heap. I've actually
Mm.
gone relatively zen mode.
Zen mode's good, man. Zen mode's good. You've
Yeah.
definitely touched on a lot of really good points. I actually think that
And
the
like,
way that you frame everything, you come from a lot of experience. But I've written down here that you've been in since 2023, which is not long at all. So, obviously 2023 and
Yeah,
2025, what we're in now, are very different conditions. I wanted to touch on something you said towards the start, where you said
yeah.
the longer that you stay in, the more bearish that you feel. Why do you think that is? Why do you potentially have, yeah, like you just said, like there is a bullish outlook, but why do you feel like maybe the longer that you stay in, that you feel bearish?
Yeah, so that's actually a good point to touch on. Is like, okay, so I think back in the day, crypto was like, buy this meme, it can do really well. Buy this altcoin that I like, XRP and
Mm,
all those things. Like I used to genuinely believe in them, HBAR, XRB, XLM. And I still think like they're probably decent projects, but because of the way they're set up and because of like the founders selling, like they're just not going anywhere. And the more and more I look into a lot of things, I just think they're not really doing anything. There's not much happening, and I'm low-key getting a bit bearish on the space because I hate saying the space, but yeah, I'm low-key getting a bit bearish on Web3 because I'm like, is there anything that's happening? Like, nearly everyone I know, besides you actually, nearly most people I know in crypto are just in Solana trenches aping meme coins.
yeah,
Like that's kind of all we do. Is there anyone who's actually doing anything useful? Like I'm sure that like I know like a lot of the DeFi stuff is really good and that's all great, but is there, and I guess this is probably a question you ask later on. The answer is ICM. I think that could be a hot thing, but I'll talk about that later.
yeah,
But right now, I don't really know. Like besides meme coins and some fucking chat GBT wrappers and AI bots, like that we sent to billions, like I don't really know what's happening. And memes, like I'm a meme boy at heart, like at heart, but
mm,
I don't know, man. There's too many now. There's genuinely too many now, I think.
yeah,
Um, like they're all just topping. Like if we could pick one, and but like the thing is like the one that's picked, oh, I think it might be too high for me, so I don't want to go into that. So then I create another one, and then that happens, and then that's a flow-on effect. And you know that like that visual of like the diagram getting smaller and smaller, like that slinky
euthanasia
thing.
roller coaster. Yeah,
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 yeah, that one. Yeah, it's kind of like that with meme coins. Like it was good, you know, we had like with Popcat, you know, like Doge and Shiba, then with Popcat, and now it's just like now there's like 20 different pump fund ones, and
yeah,
Elon supports them all, which I don't know if is the best thing. I think he should have picked one maybe, but yeah, it's a difficult one to pick for me. I don't know. I think meme coins for now are like kind of dying. I think
yeah,
unless there's like a few really strong runners. And even then, like I was a big I didn't have bags in these, but because I just missed it. But like Troll and Useless, I would have loved to see them go to billions each, and I
mm,
would have loved to see Bonk and Pump Fun kind of help each other somehow. But instead, they made it like a battle, and they both topped at like 300. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure they will eventually hit a bill, but I think mate, like Bitcoin was like I'm pretty sure Bitcoin was like pumping. It was like 120, 122, 123, and then Troll and Useless kind of like topped out a bit, which was kind of sad to see. Uh, so yeah, I think, I think meme coins are probably dying-ish, and the next big thing that I'm potentially making me bullish on the whole space could be ICM,
mm,
like the whole VCs dying, and these like genuine like non larpy devs deciding to go to pump fund to launch their actual AI project, and they get funding from investors through the Solana trenches
yeah,
to fund their actual startup and then create something. So I think like if these don't end up being LARP and they genuinely end up providing something, then I think it could be extremely bullish. And then we'll start seeing all these like super, like smart, really well developed, really, well backed devs and stuff come to crypto to launch their AI instead of, the traditional VC route. I think that could be very, very, very bullish.
yeah. And this is
Um,
internet capital
but it,
markets. Yeah,
internet capital markets, yes.
yeah.
Um,
Can you,
so
like, for a boomer like me, can you explain uh, what this is?
So I think I just tried. I think I just tried to explain it, and
Mm,
it's a shame you asked me this because like I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to. But
that's all right.
essentially, essentially, when when there's a product made or like an AI startup or something, the traditional route would be that they go through a venture capitalist for funding,
Yeah.
and then that venture capitalist has so much power and control over what they can't do when it gets released to the public, and it can just like not allow them to work on their product themselves, and it can cause a lot of issues. Whereas internet capital markets, as I am aware, can allow for those projects to seek capital through crypto without anyone having overarching like say in what they're doing. So for
Yeah.
example, like a project I really like right now is NUIT,
Yeah.
NUI or NUIT, and essentially they're creating, not shilling my bags. I mean, I am shilling my bags, but like, yeah, they're creating a like AI agents to, you know, plug into your business
Mm,
and do all the grunt works, improve workflows, make everything seamless, which is fucking every AI project. But essentially, they've gone, instead of the VC route, they've gone through internet capital markets where they'll get the funding to fund what they need to do through pump fund investors.
yeah.
And if they're able to find a way, and I think this is the big question, if they're able to find a way for the equity that they raise through their token to actually somehow, the hot buzzword right now is flywheel, somehow
Mm,
come back into their project instead of just yep, okay, I'm the dev, I made this, I'm going to run away with my 10% bundle. Instead of doing that, if they can somehow have it flywheel effect back into their project, then maybe we've actually unlocked an area of crypto being useful.
yeah.
It helps investors because they invest into the coin goes up. Helps the founders because they don't have to go through the VC route where some VC can't owns 20% of their business,
Yeah.
and uh, they can get funding from zero. Just they start up on Pump Fund, and you don't need anything to start that up,
Mm,
and yeah, they get the funding. But then it's more so like when they actually do get that funding, what do they do with it? As we've seen more often than not, they just LARP and they run away with the bundle, nuke the coin, and that's kind of what we saw in that AI season that we had. Was it
yeah.
before Trump or after Trump? Yeah, before Trump. Yeah. So now this is a little bit of a better one. I feel like it has a bit more merit to it. The people that maybe they're just more developed LARPs, who knows? But it
Yeah.
seems now that like there is actually Web2 influence. For example, the coin I just shilled, NUIT, they were genuinely a part of the Y Combinator startup thing. Like they've got two docs devs that are going there talking with tech giants. Like if that's LARP, then GG. Like I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
But like it seems somewhat genuine. It's just more so like, okay, why do you need a token? Is
Mm,
the token going to have a flywheel impact? Is that the way you're creating revenue, or do you create revenue without the token, and the token is purely for flywheel in back into the business?
yeah.
If so, then yeah, boom, $1 billion coin, $1 billion project. But if not, then yeah, maybe it's just another LARP, and we got fucked over again.
Yeah.
But that's the one area that I'm bullish on, and I think yeah, trying to find hot ICM, Internet Capital Market coins that are genuine enough to create revenue without needing the token proceeds, then yeah, maybe it's not a bad area to look into. And I think that's actually something I've got on my whiteboard is look into more ICM coins.
Mm,
So the one that I'm really bullish on is NUIT. I want to look into CLED a little bit more, and I think there's a few others out there as well that seem relatively genuine.
yeah.
But yeah, that's a whole steal.
No, no, no,
What do you
that's
think
good.
on ICM, and what do you?
Oh no, dude,
Yeah,
it's
what do you think of ICM? Do you? Yeah. And
Yeah.
and sorry to everyone listening, like I don't, I don't know if I explained that the best, but I think that's the basic premise of what ICM is RIP VC, like RIP venture capitalists. This is the new era of equity raising. And I
Yeah.
think it makes sense.
Yeah, like I think the way that you explained it's really good because it sounds like it cuts out the venture capitalists and essentially opens up the floodgates for um, just general users being able to buy their token. I'd wonder how that would differ from an
Yeah.
ICO, but I think it's wholesome that you write this on the whiteboard. But ICM specifically, I it like first came out on the timeline, and it was like a bit of a meme. Maybe there was like one or two coins that pumped really hard, and then after that, I think it just got shat on. But I think the way that you've
Yeah.
described it, I haven't looked into it since. So, like, for me and the viewers, like, how do you actually find the ICM coins that are different from, I guess, the other tokens out there?
Yeah. Yeah. So essentially, like, I use Twitter for everything. I know a lot of people
Mm,
think there's like a lot of shit on Twitter, but like, I'll just search up good ICM tokens, and then I'll find a few, and then I'll like genuine dig into them.
mm,
I'll look, do they have a LinkedIn? Do they have docs devs? Do they have Web2 contacts? Do they have like a dev who is genuinely, like if you can search up the dev online and find stuff about them and see that he or she are actually doing something, and if you go on the website, it doesn't go right to the token. You can, be pretty sure that they're not just looking for like a cabal run up bundle escape. All these little things. And I'm sure like there could be a lot of developed LARPs as well, but I think
mm,
it's more so just about a lot of deep diving. Checking in with smarter people. Like I really like who is it, like there's a few there's a few like Twitter accounts that I go to for alpha where I think they're pretty good at really deep diving into the website, into the code, into seeing their connects outside of crypto, and and then at the end of the day, it's kind of just it's a bit of a gamble. I try not to think too much into it, but yeah, from what I can find, if they're able to generate revenue and they seem genuine enough and they have a bit of a flywheel impact from the token, then that's my basic checklist for is it a good ICM token or not.
yeah,
Most of them are not, but there's a few that I think are. And then the other issue is and that's like I'm the issue as well, is like when you have found a token that you really like, there are going to just be people who sell pumps.
yeah,
And because liquidity is so thin right now, you might just be like, if you see your token go down 30%, you're like, fuck, maybe this is a LARP, maybe they're slowly selling, they're slow rugging. But it could just be Solana degens moving on. So it's hard
yeah,
to know. And that's why I think like I momentum scalp memes because I don't believe in any of them. But
mm,
when I have like an actual conviction hold, like this Nuit coin, then I will happily hold that
mm,
and see it play out. And yeah, I think ICM is not just a meta, like I think it will flow back and it'll be like the next big thing.
yeah,
But I need to see that play out.
yeah,
And I never started as an AI guy. I was more of just like a meme coin degen. But now, like this is probably the one area where I'm like, the slow, like there's like I see like a bit of light in at the end of the tunnel with like crypto as a space and being like, oh, maybe, just maybe, this could be what we all need to like not just be looked at as a degen
mm,
area of
yeah.
finance.
Do you think that's
But yeah, Ramirez.
primarily,
Yeah.
sorry, do you think that's primarily where you see the influx of the liquidity to come back into the soul trenches?
I think so. Yeah,
Mm,
I think so. And then obviously when people get richer, then yes, meme coins will always go up. I'm not denying that.
mm,
There will always be a few billion-dollar runners. But I think there needs to be something that like is actually useful to bring those, you know, 8-figure, 9-figure whales sitting on stables back into crypto. And I
yeah,
think, or back on chain. And I think that is probably internet capital markets.
yeah,
Because even like when it was, even when it was goat and thing, like at the end of the day, that was just a fucking chatbot that was on Twitter. I don't know how, like, that wasn't really that useful. Like, there was no point of that token. I think the
Yeah.
token was just to like support the chatbot on Twitter that roasts you or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And even like, and I think the reason that doesn't work anymore is like Elon Musk literally released Annie, you know, like the fucking Guna AI chatbot girl,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that token. Like I thought, okay, if this does well, then maybe people are still willing to just buy shit, but that didn't do well.
Mm.
So that means that people are actually, I think, maybe looking for utility now. You know how
Mm.
before it was kind of before it was oh fuck utility memes. That was like the 2023 vibe. I think now people got so fucking washed out on memes, and everyone had these ridiculous like $100 billion targets for whiff and popcat.
Yeah.
That now it's like oh fuck this, what's something that's actually useful, and it could probably be internet capital markets. But I think yeah, the average player now is a lot more smart with their money. They're a bit more defensive. So
Yeah.
they only want to buy something that they genuinely think will go up and genuinely has a use case. And
Mm.
then when we start getting silly, then yeah, sure, troll to a billion, useless to a billion. But right now, I don't think so unless we see one of these ICM coins go to a billion first.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my bet is on NUIT, which I genuinely think it can do, but who knows? Who
Yeah.
knows?
I'll have to check it out after the stream, and give it a look.
Yeah.
Do you
There's a
think
few more as well. Like Kodak is really good as well.
Kodak? Do you think I got
Yeah,
a
I
couple of
think the
questions here. Oh, you go. You go.
yeah, you're going. No. The thing what I was going to add is with Kodak, like yeah, I left so many gains on the table with that one, but the one thing I didn't like about that one is I think the token doesn't have any use case.
Mm.
So it's hard for me to buy something or have a lot in a token when I know it doesn't really have a use case. So yeah, but yeah, we're just going to see how it plays out.
Yeah. Do you think there's other areas of the Solana trenches that can bring an influx of liquidity back, or do you think primarily it's that combination of innovation, utility, flywheel revenue, a good docs team for the internet capital markets? Like, can you see anything else occurring in that space?
Yeah, I think that well, I guess that takes us onto like creator capital markets, right? Like
Mm.
I still like I've never been I still to this day don't know anyone who actually watches streams.
Mm.
But sorry, like not these streams. I mean like, you know, like just speed on Twitch or something like
Yeah.
Aiden Ross. Like I don't watch them. I don't know people who like actively donate, but I'm sure that there's a lot of money in that space, and even just going on Pump Fun and looking at the stream section, and Elon's goal of trying to take over Kick and Twitch, I didn't believe in it, but low key like now we're sort of almost seeing again light at the end of the tunnel. Like potentially, there's very little potential that it could happen.
Mm.
So that is another avenue. I just don't know how it works because at the end of the day, like Solana, we're all degens. Like
Yeah.
it's the thing with like oh, Dreamer went to sleep, sell the token. So it's just going to be like swinging when they're awake and nuking when they're like asleep. And
Yeah.
I don't think that's really going to do much. And I'm not too sure if streamers necessarily if it's in their best interest to have a token attached to when they stream
Mm.
and their viewers try to make money on it. So I don't know if that is necessarily the route, but then I was also very bullish on like the more creator aspect of it, of like
Mm.
like hot what am I trying to say, like really hot CT accounts and stuff, or like people who are really good at alpha. But then
Mm.
is that just sort of another celebrity meta, which is we're not really big fans of that, are we? So I'll be honest, I'm not super well versed in this area. I can sort of see the vision, but I don't know if I'm fully convinced on it. bringing that, sidelined 500 bill in stables. I don't know if they're necessarily going to want to come and buy like a streaming token. Maybe if there's like streaming infra that helps everyone potentially. But at the end of the day, I think it's just pump fun that wins.
Yeah.
So I think the best play right now is probably just pump fun. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it's going. I haven't looked enough into it. So yeah, I don't think I have much thoughts on anything outside of ICM for now.
Yeah. I'm wondering if it's
And
that
then
component where the internet capital markets are sort of relying on you as a participant to project future outcomes from a team that has proposed revenue versus the idea where you've got creator capital markets where it's just kind of flash in the pan streaming. The streamer generates a whole bunch of revenue from someone trading the token, and then they can kind of just like leave. Um, so
yeah,
I can see why
yeah,
you think that as well.
yeah, yeah. That being said, I think I saw today there was like some streamer that joined. He locked up all of his tokens, and like people genuinely just like watching him. And if they're, I mean, if they're like doing some good, so like that's why I think maybe that kindness stream did really well, where it's like
Mm.
they just everything they get from their token they donate it, and then they like get the reactions, and then people like seeing it happen. So
Yeah.
maybe something like that potentially. So there, I think there's avenues, and I'm sure Elon knows what he's doing, and he
Mm.
will make it work out somehow. Um, but for now, like I kind of have a rule, is that like I try not to borrow conviction. So like if I
Mm.
genuinely can't see it, then I don't want to buy it. And for now, I don't think I see it, but I'm
Mm.
sure I will eventually.
Yeah.
And yeah, and as I said, I'm sure Elon knows what he's doing, and I don't
Yeah.
think he would just say, "We want to take over Kick and Twitch" unless he has some trick down his sleeve. But yeah, let's see how it plays out.
Yeah. I always thought the copy pastas from Web 2, if you want to call it that, like the Spotify, the streaming, things like YouTube, it's very hard to replicate that in crypto landscape. I often find that the innovative crypto specific designs of things often lead to better outcomes because they're more new and
Yeah,
innovative. There's not a promise or a future valuation of which something will achieve. I wanted to pivot to your trading for a moment because I think you mentioned something just before called borrowed conviction. Now, for someone that's only been in for a couple of years, I think it's very impressive that you've been able to adapt to that level of self-awareness because borrowing conviction
yeah,
can sometimes lead to ruin if you're not careful. So, and you've also mentioned other things like trading up, changing up your trading style when the conditions are
yeah.
changing. So, who do you think has been your biggest influence on your trading style and your success? And also, um, what do you think has kept you in the game for so long?
Yeah. So I think when I first came into crypto, like I was very fortunate enough to meet. Can I say like their Twitter names?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, go for it. Yeah.
I was very fortunate to meet XJZ,
Mm.
DGB, and like a few others in that circle. And I like that's when it was like, hold, let something go up, and boom, you're rich.
Mm.
And like I experienced that to a much smaller degree for me. And it was great and it works out and it was awesome. However, after a bit, I realized like these guys know what they're doing and they're very good at it. However, I'm kind of just borrowing conviction from someone here, someone there.
Yeah.
I don't really know when to sell. I don't really know what this is. I
Mm.
don't really know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't have, I don't hold heaps of majors. I can't buy all the dips all the time. I'm a bit of a retard. I don't know what I'm doing. So it worked out great. But then eventually, when things were going down, I can't expect someone to tell me when to sell or what's going on or, you know, oh my God, what happened with this token? Because, at the end of the day, I'm the one who bought it. I'm the one who borrowed the conviction. If I was happy with the profit I had made on that token, then I should have exited with it.
Yeah.
So that's like a very difficult lesson I had to learn myself, and it actually, like kept me out of the game for a bit because I was like, holy shit, I just round tripped so much fucking money. But I think that's what everyone needs to go through when they get into crypto.
Yeah.
And then you eventually adapt and you realize, okay, people have different trading styles. You don't know how much people are holding in stables to eventually keep buying dips.
Mm.
You don't want to always borrow conviction, because maybe when something rips, um, you might not have even been in it because you weren't able to go through the drawdown because you put in way too much of your port into it and you couldn't
Yeah.
stand this going down. So everyone has their own strat, everyone has their own idea, and there are obviously shared plays that like I go into, but I understand that like I need to know when to exit or I need to know when to not enter because I can't afford to be in something like that right now, given I have four other meme plays going on. So what's the other point? What's the point of joining in on another meme play?
Yeah.
So I think that's something I decided myself, and I was like, and I think a lot of people have kind of gone that route now as well, and that's why I was saying like the trenches, lack of a better word, like kind of shit right now because
Mm.
ev- people are too scared to just like we lost the top blasters, we lost the people who just borrow conviction, slam 10k, and they end up winning, and like now I've understood that okay, right now is kind of not that environment. I'm gonna like map out my play. I'm gonna try like I know before I said I don't think about entries and exits, and I don't, but I think about more so like the momentum of that coin. So if it's going up, I'll get in. But then like when as soon as I notice it's sort of slowing down, I'm not gonna worry about, oh my God, are you adding? I'm leaving it. I'm exiting. So I'm kind of just like doing my own thing at the moment. Um, and I think yeah, like that's something that I had to like learn myself, and I think yeah, like they also gave me good advice on it as well. So I
Mm.
credit a lot of that to DGB as well for helping me a lot with that. And yeah, and now I think I've got my own pretty good edge going on, and it's just more so what I just explained. If I think a coin is going to go up from where it is currently, then why would I not enter it?
Yeah.
Um, I think a lot, like for example, like a good thing is like a lot of people they'll be like, "Fuck's sake, I missed it," but it's like, okay, yeah, sure, maybe you missed it, but do you still think it's going to go up? If so, why don't you enter it and then just exit sooner?
Mm.
Like that's what I try to do. I know that can go wrong, but instead of having the FOMO, try to just enter and see where it goes. Like if you still think it has a bit of juice left, why not capture that remaining juice? Because when you're thinking, fuck's sake, I missed it, that's probably when it still has a lot of juice left. And that's just what I found by myself. Like I just had
Yeah.
to go through a lot of round trips, a lot of losses, a lot of wallets getting zeroed out before realizing, okay, this is kind of what my edge is now.
Mm.
It's momentum scalping and, you know, entering and exiting before even a 2x. But that's just my edge, and that's what I like doing for
Yeah.
now. Eventually, I think the holders will actually win. The people who are just, they've got like 6 figs in a troll and they're just like, I'm just going to let that play out. And they eventually will win. But for now, if you're trying to like run up a wallet, I think that's probably not the best strategy. But everyone has their own way of playing. And that's what I choose to do. And I fortunately have quite a bit of time that I can dedicate to this,
Mm.
as a single male. So, um, yeah, I like it. I enjoy it. But yeah, as we were talking about offline before, sometimes it might be good to sit in those plays if you have other things going outside in life, or you just want to lower your screen time as well.
Mm.
I'm not a big fan of just being on screen all the time. Oh my God, this coin hit the order block at 8 mil. Maybe I can ride it to 12 mil. Like, yeah, that's great, but sometimes it's better to just, sit in a coin with high conviction.
Yeah.
So there's all these different strats, and I think I try to play all of them, but my edge is definitely in what I just explained.
Yeah. I really like the fact that you've simplified it to, do you think this can still go up? Then if yes, then buy some and just exit sooner. like you're just really kind of understanding that rather than looking for the bottom tick 10x gain, you're like, I'm happy with like a 25% move on some size, or I'm happy with a 75% move.
Yeah.
Or when you're
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
momentum scalping, you were like, yeah, I'll sell before a 2x because that's my edge. I think that takes a lot of maturity, and also um, when you say that you are selling before a 2x, like the thought of that is so barbaric because in 2023 and 2024, it's like you're selling before a 2x when something was going to go 50x. You know, like it's almost like insane
Yeah.
to comprehend in that nature in relation to the soul trenches. So I think you've done like really well, even if you have zeroed out or made some losses. I think the level
Mm.
of
Yeah.
maturity that you
Yeah.
have is insane, and I have no
Yeah.
doubt you'll do fine as well.
Yeah. No, thank you. And no, I have no doubt as well. Like before, like I'm still not at the all-time high that I was at,
Mm,
but I know for a fact that this version of me is so much more level-headed, so
mm,
much more of a better trader who knows what's happening and who knows, okay, I'm pressing the sell button. And I think I heard a quote from someone, I don't know who it was. Maybe it was like Min or something, but it was like, oh no, maybe it was someone else, but it was like, you got to fall in love with selling.
mm,
And I think back in the day, like, even if I was sitting on a fucking like 10x with size, I didn't want to sell. I don't know why. It was so hard for me to sell. Um, Whereas now it's like if I get a 2x, I kind of want to sell. And that I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think that's a bad thing for now.
yeah,
Eventually, I keep saying this. Eventually, I think yeah, there will be time where like fucking shit just 10x's. But for now, I think yeah, you got. I'm kind of in love with the sell button, and it's saved me from some devious round trips. It
mm,
has also lost me out on troll. Like I was in troll at like I think 20 mil.
mm,
I would be so much better off if I had just held that. But there's probably so many other coins that I would have been zeroed out on if I held those. So it's just yeah, finding what works, and eventually when we start seeing everything 10x, then maybe you can switch to a bit more of a hold uh, play style.
yeah. Can I ask, how do you go about identifying those liquidity or trend changes? How do you do that? What are you looking for?
Hmm. I think this is a like really difficult one because sometimes it's just like intuition. I think
Mm,
it's really hard because I'd want to say that it's tied to um, majors, but it kind of isn't even. It's kind of like when majors are chopping, there's few on-chain coins that are fucking blasting and few that are nuking,
mm,
and it's not really tied to how Bitcoin or Sol are performing. And then in terms of like how to know, I think sometimes like I think um this is an unpopular opinion, but I think TA works very well on like on-chain shitters.
mm,
As long as they're in like the sort of 10 mil range or so. I think yeah, I just do like level to level, and once it's at a level, I exit. And then that see that the issue with that is if it breaks into price discovery, then yes, you've probably sold before price discovery, which I did with Troll.
mm,
But more often than not, in this thin liquidity environment, um, if it's retesting a resistance zone, it's probably getting sold on. So once I see it test like a resistance zone or a bearish order block or something like that, or I don't really use fibs, but you could use fibs as well. Something if once it's hitting some form of liquidity, and it's like taking it, or like you're assuming that like people have sell orders at this level, then yeah, it's probably best to exit. And then
yeah,
there's psychological levels as well. Like most coins, I think once they break that 30 mil, next target people look for is 50 to 60 mil. So you can probably try play 30 to 50 to 60 mil. And then if it's it'll always like reject its first go at 100 mil. So you can probably sell at 100 mil and then get back in at like 85 mil and ride it up to like 110.
Yeah.
So little things like that, psychological zones, liquidity ranges, little things like that, like a bunch of ICT and smart money concept terms, which, you know, you need to do a bit of boot camp and study on. But then as soon as you start seeing it, it's like, okay, I think people are going to sell here. I think some people will sell here. And you can just, you know, scale out.
Mm. Yeah. Again, dude, to be able to understand this in a very short period of time is awesome. And so all of these things that you're sort of mentioning, do you think if, you know, when you were talking about testing the liquidity zones or I guess the local highs where, you know, usually people wouldn't sell, but in this case you're anticipating that people will sell. Do you think if we get like something that blows out of the water where it goes from like a couple mil to like 100 mil, that would indicate to you that the conditions are changing, or are you still skeptical on those sort of
Yeah.
moves?
No, I think if we start seeing that to multiple coins, then it's kind of like, okay, we're risk on. And I think people keep trying to rush the risk on.
Mm,
But the fact of the matter is, right now, it's just not really risk on.
yeah.
Like, it happened with Scroll, it happened with Useless like a few months ago, but that's it. I don't think I can. I mean, unless I missed a few, but I don't think I can really name many others that haven't. Whereas back in the day, you know, there was like everything just blew out of the water. Like Billy, Nom Nom, Popcat, whatever. Like literally every coin had its little breakthrough phase where if you sold, you were like an idiot.
Mm,
So yeah, I don't think it's there yet, but I think yeah, when we have that influx of liquidity or, you know, stables returning on chain, we'll see it clearly. And I personally am of the belief that it will happen to a few ICM coins first and then memes.
good. Well, I'm glad you're telling me this now because I have enough time to buy into Newt or Newit. You know,
Yeah,
just
I don't
before.
even know how to say it. Yeah.
What's its market cap
And
now?
oh man, if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, and it's not financial advice, all right? It's 11.8 mil,
11.8
so
mil. That's not bad for an internet capital market
quite
coin.
low, quite low, quite low. Yeah.
Um,
That's probably about my average entry as well. So yeah, we'll see.
all right, chat. We need to bail him out. We need to give him a sub
I promise.
2x. We need to give him just a casual 50% gain, and we've got one of the largest
Take it,
holders out.
take it to 50. Yeah, sorry. Take it to 15 mil and I'm out.
Um, you touched on before that there are a lot of stables on the side. I've been noticing that
Yeah.
as well. What do you think will bring those stable coins back into the market on a not just on a Soul Trenches base, but maybe on a because you talked about it potentially being around 500 billion or a trillion. I don't know the exact number. I know it's quite large,
Yeah.
but what do you think will get them more interested in coming back into crypto?
ETH to 10K.
Mm,
I think I think that is what will bring it because a lot of them are ETH whales, I think, and they love Ethereum. And let's be honest, as much as I love Solana, I think Ethereum is what is like the founding holder of everything crypto. All of DeFi is on it.
mm,
Most of the stables are on USDT, ETH. Uh, it's kind of, you know, the big daddy. So
yeah.
we need them to win as well before we win. And I think yeah, like ETH had its run, and I think that's what kind of fueled that little run of Bitcoin to 124. Solana was doing really fucking well, and now kind of ETH kind of stalled again. I think,
Mm,
but if we see it have another fucking leg, which I think we definitely will, to like I don't know 10K or not. I'm not really a big macro guy. I can't really talk on that. But I think if we see have a second leg to something like 6 or 7K, oh, I think that could be very hot.
mm,
Um, so it's pretty much just play defensive until ETH gets really scary hot again.
Yeah.
And like we want to see the things like we want to see them get rich. So that's when because if their port goes up by 10 mil, then maybe they'll take out 500K, put it into Soul Trenches. That makes the biggest difference for some of these sub 10 mil coins. So yeah, I think ETH, SPX, Pepe as well, like some of those whale type coins. If we see them have some big impulse moves, then I think we can see a flow on effect into Sol
Yeah.
and the stables, the ETH, Sol, and then base as well. All those things.
Yeah.
I think
Actually,
when I say ETH, I'm also talking about base. I guess. But
yeah.
yeah,
I
you were gonna
think
say?
that's yeah. I actually think that's really profound that you touched on that because I didn't kind of make the connection until now. But you're right. Like if a Soul coin, like let's just say for example, Nuit went from 0 to 11 mil, it probably would only take a couple of mil to then move that even higher, given like the
Yeah,
liquidity provisions. So I think that's really profound that you've talked about the fact that Ethereum needs to do well in order for someone's $10 million portfolio to grow by like 500K to then ape that into something that they don't care about, because then that's where
yeah,
the true size matters and you get
exactly, exactly.
those
Yeah,
increases, which I actually, it didn't even click to me to think of it like that until now. So thank you for sharing that. The other thing I wanted
no,
to ask was, I think there are a lot of people out there that are quite bullish on Solana and trash Ethereum. So how did you
mm,
kind of, because you've cut your teeth on the Solana trenches, why do you think that you're not
yeah.
more tribal towards Solana, but more open to Ethereum and the likes of other ecosystems?
Because at the end of the day, I just want to make money, and I understand that like all the rich people are on Ethereum,
Yeah.
and we need them to get rich, so then us poor boys at Solana can get rich.
Mm,
Like they're like 8, 9, 10 figure guys and girls, right? So, like as you said, yeah, like they just need to put a little bit side wallet into a few of these coins, and boom, like these coins can go to 100 mil.
yeah.
Like even if like 4 or 5 whale, and then it starts like a ripple effect. Like they'll be like, oh my god, 10 million ETH whales buying this, like buy this, and then at the end of the day, that's what brings attention. And then when the attention is like so like you're trying to front run attention.
Mm,
So when the attention comes into this coin, then you're like, wait, hold up, this is a legit project with actual backing from YC and actual docs devs, and they did this, and they've got partnerships with Google and whatever the hell.
yeah.
And then that like starts that sort of attention flywheel, and then boom, the coins at a bill. Like it could happen. You never know.
Yeah.
And then that's when we get the whole risk on, boom, bang. Everyone's happy. But until those rich guys come back, I don't think it's happening.
Mm,
And for them to come back, I'm assuming Ethereum needs to go back to like 6K. I mean, go into 6K. Because
yeah.
right now it's just sitting at 4.5, which is actually not bad.
Mm,
But yeah, like it's just kind of stalled, if I remember correctly. It had like its massive impulse from like 3.3 to like 4.8, and now it's just stalling as a stable coin. And yeah, if it loads the next leg, then yeah, that's what I think.
mm,
I could be wrong. Maybe people leave Soul or something and start going to ETH, and then we see like an ETH season and Soul, and like they shit on Soul. Who knows? But I'm of the thought process that ETH wins, then Soul wins.
mm, yeah. No, that's again, I thought that was a really good point that you touched on, which ties into another question that I had was, how do you view the cycle in 6 to 12 months? Where do you see us in that sort of time frame?
Okay, so again, I'm not trying to be different, and I could be wrong, but I've been quite vocal with this in my like with or some of the people I talk to, but I genuinely think cycles are done. And I think it's kind of just like Bitcoin slow grinds up and we get pockets of outperformance from alts.
Mm.
And then we get like a shitter cleanse, like a brutal 3 month period, which I guess you can call the bear market. But it's not like correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it used to be 3 years of up, 1 year down, 3 years of up, 1 year down, something like that,
Mm.
or
Yeah.
similar. I think now it will kind of be like 9 to 12 months of up, 3 months of, oh, I almost said a bad word, but 3 months of down.
Yeah.
Then 9 to 12 months of up, 3 months of down. And it'll and when I say down, I don't even think like Bitcoin will go down that bad. Like it will
Yeah.
probably won't ever go under, I'm gonna say 75K ever again. That's
Yeah.
just what I think. But it will, yeah, it like we know, right? Like when as they say, when Bitcoin sneezes, everything shits the bed. So yeah, it will still be a bear market. Trust me. Like I think it will still be fucking shit, but it
Yeah.
will only be 3 months, I think. And then back to like maybe 6 to 9 months or so of like up. But even then, as we know, like this up isn't even really like a bull market. Really, it's kind of like very selective outperformance, and some people aren't even like even now. Like I'm stalling the last few months. Like I haven't made any crazy gains
Yeah.
either. Sorry, I said months. I mean, maybe more like weeks, but feels like months. Um, so yeah, like I think yeah, it'll be how like a bull market might have like 3 years of up. It'll be like 2 years of up with like, or maybe like 2.5 years of up with like 6 month blow off.
Mm.
Now it might be 6 months of up with 1 month blow off and then 3 months of just doom.
Yeah.
That's what I think. So I don't think, yeah, I don't know if like, oh, when do we top? When do we bottom? I don't think that's really going to be a thing.
Yeah.
I think it will just be dependent on macro, what's happening, FOMC, like the whole kind of World War III stuff. It'll be kind of fluctuate around that as well. And like whatever the hell the media tries to spin into, and then it'll show in markets. Um, and then, yeah, like for example, I feel like the 3 month bear market that we're going to see soon will probably start when Trump dies. So
Really.
I don't know when that will be, but that's probably, yeah.
Yeah. Why do you think?
So I don't know when that would be,
Yeah.
but if it's in the next year,
Mm. Why do you believe there won't be a 4 year cycle anymore, and that we would get a like the 9 to 12 months up and the 3 months down?
because Bitcoin's a commodity now,
Mm.
there is so much what is like there's like a lot of wealth added to it, and we have so many Web 2 boomers into it, like BlackRock and all this into it as well. Like I don't think they're going to be able to go through genuine bear markets and seeing Bitcoin go to something like 40K,
Yeah.
which wouldn't be out of the ordinary in a normal bear market, right? Like I think that's relatively standard. So I think that won't happen. And then given that doesn't happen, um, we it probably will be accelerated, I would assume, because well, I don't know. I guess I can't really flesh out my thought process, but I just don't see it happening. Like for example, with the SPX and stuff,
Yeah.
yeah, they go through bull markets and bear markets, but it's not really like a crypto bear market, right? So I think the Bitcoin bear market will more closely follow the SPX, and it won't be as brutal and as long. Um, but yeah, in that 3 month period, on chain will have a full cleanse, most
Mm.
likely.
Yeah.
So it's still a bear market for people like me who play purely on chain, but it just won't be a whole year. I think it will be like 3 months, 3 to 6 months.
Yeah. Well, it sounds
For
like you've
example,
already.
I
Yeah. You go.
personally think. I
That,
personally think that January to April period,
mm,
or was it, yeah, January to April when we went from 108 to like 74.
mm,
I personally think that was a bear market. Like a lot of people think it was a bull market pullback,
mm,
but I think that was the bear market. And then now what we're experiencing is like the, 9-month period of up.
yeah. I
And
haven't thought
then,
of it like that. That's a good point.
yeah, that, yeah. And like, I haven't got this from anyone. I genuinely have just thought of it myself. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm just an idiot at the end of the day. But that's what I personally think. Because there was no reason for us to come back like we did. And I think that goes to show that there is so much demand for Bitcoin and
Mm,
there won't be bear markets for it until maybe we're at a valuation of like 500K and then boom, people start thinking, okay, it's a bit overvalued. Now maybe we can have proper bear markets. But right now, I think there's so much, there's infinite bid for Bitcoin.
yeah,
There's literally infinite bid for Bitcoin under like 100K. So I don't think, yeah, and like a bear market doesn't affect these extreme whales who are looking to always buy. So I think
yeah,
if they can buy Bitcoin under 100K, they don't care if it's a bear market. And that means Bitcoin won't ever go under 100K again, in my opinion.
mm,
Uh, I don't know. Sorry, did I say 100? I think I mean more like 75, 80.
yeah.
But yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
good
I,
point.
I guess you've just given me a bit of homework. You've just given me a bit of homework because I need to flesh out this idea a little bit more. But essentially, what I'm trying to say is I think there is too much bid for Bitcoin to go through a brutal bear market. And therefore, I think the bear market won't last much longer, much that long until maybe like, a 30% pullback or something. And then we see bids come back and then boom, crypto starts to come back and then boom, it's the bull market again.
Yeah, yeah. It's a good point. I definitely think that there have been periods of time where on chain has horrendously suffered in pullbacks while the majors have kind of been flat. Um, and when we did
Yeah.
get that correction in February to April, even to the correction that we've experienced in the last couple of weeks, Bitcoin hasn't really performed that well this year in comparison to other bits and pieces. Like I read a statistic that said silver had outperformed Ethereum on the year, and it's like Ethereum's performed pretty well from the lows, but it's like, is it that level of outperformance where it can actually get into a realm of overbought territory where it actually warrants a pullback? Or will these assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum just trend up in accordance to what the other markets are doing?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, yeah, I think for now there's just too much bid. But
Mm,
if that bid goes away, then yeah, maybe we do experience a bit of a tough pullback. But I guess I guess for someone like me who mainly just stacks Bitcoin and buy and plays on chain,
mm,
I'm always wary of there being absolute, you know, massacre. So I'm always a bit weary. So I don't really care if we're in a bull or bear. I'm more so just like, okay, when am I being risk on slash risk off?
yeah.
And I see because this is my first cycle. I don't know, like on chain people, when it was a bear, did they just disappear? I don't know. Um, but I think like now there probably won't be much disappearing. It's always more like, okay, the 3 months is almost up. Is it risk on time soon? And even when it is risk on, maybe it's just like sit in Bitcoin season. So you're still kind of in the market.
Mm.
So it's probably always, you're probably always kind of online. Maybe I'm just saying what I want to hear as well. I don't know. Uh,
Well, it's a different
but for now,
take.
there seems, yeah. But for now, there seems to be a lot of bid for Bitcoin.
Mm.
At least like under 100K.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'll be interested to see when we do go under 100K again. I think it is coming. I don't know when. Maybe if like is there an FOMC coming up?
There's a whole
If
bunch of
that's
shit coming up.
bad or not as good as people expect, maybe yeah. Yeah. So maybe we do experience like a little bit of a bull market pet pullback
Mm,
for now. Um, or I don't know, maybe like a little bit of a yeah, because I don't even want to call it a bear market now. I don't like. I think if it's only 2 or 3 months, should it really be called bear market? I don't know,
yeah,
but yeah,
it's hard to
that's kind of
say
what I think. Yeah,
because when you think about the gains that were made in the previous cycle with the likes of DeFi and a couple of those like altcoins, it was the world kind of went from COVID, where they thought the world was ending, to buying NFTs in the span of a year. And so that reflexivity of it's so over to we're so back was it was pretty
yeah,
impressive to watch. So this time around, a lot of people I think are
yeah,
prepared for the alt season. So the I think your thoughts are really good because you're talking about the idea that there's an infinite bid for Bitcoin. So you're happy to stack sats and then you're happy to play on chain and just kind of be prepared for that
yeah,
trend change of when all that excess liquidity comes back in. And if you're saying that
yeah,
the idea of a bear market is like a little bit less likely and it's more focused around um, smaller time frames of multi-month pullbacks and um, you know extended multi-month bull markets like that, that's a really good takeaway in my opinion, because if
yeah,
you play defensive on chain where the
yeah,
volatility is and you kind of forget about um, like the intricacies of Bitcoin and its technicals and all that, you just stack sats. That's not a bad strategy, in my opinion. I think that could actually work quite well for you.
yeah, 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 yeah. And I think, like, to be honest, I don't know that many people, but out of most of like the very wealthy people I know who have Bitcoin, they don't want to sell it ever, right?
Mm,
So that goes to show that there is a lot of bid for it for now. And yeah, it needs to reach a certain price or something needs to happen. Maybe MicroStrategy falls or something. I don't know. But until something happens, I think there's still going to be a lot of bid for it until maybe like 300, 400, 500K.
yeah,
And that could happen over the next 5 years. I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty. Yeah. Um, let's talk about some of your losses and wins if we want to open up that can of worms. You've already touched on already about round tripping, bag holding, believing that if you're up a 10x, you
Yeah.
could go. What was that one trade where it was kind of
Yeah.
like, I really fucked it up here. Like, like I really regret this trade.
I'm pretty sure you know it, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people know it. It
Oh,
was
does it start with a
Katana
C?
for me.
Yeah.
Um, it, yeah, yeah, it starts with a C. Yeah. Um, for me, like I don't even know how much I put in. I think I put in a bit too much when it. But the thing is, it worked out. Like it
Mm,
fucking. I don't know. I think it was like a liquid 10x on pretty big size for me. Um, but the thing is, like, and like the thing is, I was so dedicated to the cause of like this is going to do what PopCat did, this is going to do what WIF did, and there was no reason to not believe that. Like all the people on Twitter who were supporting previous coins, like there was like some massive KOLs supporting it. I didn't know better. I would buy every single dip, and I would keep doing that until I eventually realized, oh my god, I think I'm down. And then eventually I realized like, oh my god, I have like barely any left. Where did it go? and I think it was like a trance. Like it was like a trance of 6 months, going from like, a figure to a massive figure to below the starting figure, and I didn't even know how that happened. And I genuinely consider myself a smart guy, a smart trader. So I was like, how the fuck did I even allow something like that to happen to myself? Um, it's no one's fault. It's my fault. And I'm like, okay, I cannot allow something like that to happen again. And then I wrote down a bunch of reasons as to why it happened. You know, why was I so delusional? Was I afraid of selling on people? This, that, whatever the fuck. And, like, even on Twitter, I would always put the big fucking arrow. Like, me and Winell have laughed about that. Like, and like, it's like you do it as a joke, but then when you do it enough, you're like, hold up, wait, that big arrow could actually happen. Like,
Yeah.
it's what happened with it's what happened with Popcat. Why the fuck could it not happen to my bag? And even though I'm up this much, you don't get rich without going through some round trips and some drawdowns. You buy the dip, and then eventually it fucked me over, and it is what it is. And who knows? Like, it was also bad timing with Trump releasing his token, which just made everything fucking nuke even harder.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just is what it is, and I'm glad that happened to me. I really am, because if not, I may have not really matured much as a trader and had to start again from like a very low amount
Yeah.
relative to what I had. So yeah, I'm happy. It's good. It's a very good lesson for myself, and I think maybe I'm a bit scarred. Like, now I don't want to believe in things as much, but I think right now, given this thin liquidity market, that's kind of the good mindset to have. And I back myself to start becoming a believer when we see signs of, there being life again to, where being a believer works out. But yeah, right now I don't think I am gonna be a believer anytime soon.
Yeah.
Because yeah, something like that definitely scarred me quite a bit. So
Yeah.
yeah, but it's
No.
good to go through. And I think most of the talks I've listened to and spaces I've jumped on with, listened in on, most of the big traders, this is cope right now, but most of them have gone through things like that to level themselves up. And I think, yeah, it needs to happen. So yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good to experience it and know that, like, if you did it once and it was able to go up, then it's always able to happen again. You
Yeah.
just got to be very smart about, okay, when am I happy to walk away?
Yeah.
And I don't think I ever was happy to walk away, because I had delusional targets. But that's what everyone was on that shit in 2023, low key. Everyone had delusional targets for everything. So
Yeah.
it is
That
what it
was
is, and I think we yeah.
yeah. I think that was like the genuine flywheel of the Solana trenches was XYZ coin went to 1 bill, so therefore this can go to 500 mil. And it would do that and
Yeah, yeah,
then like rinse and repeat.
yeah,
Um, but yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's tough to
Um,
hear when you were buying on the dips. It went up, and then when it
yeah,
had the big correction, it
yeah.
went back below what you started with.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, buying the dip actually worked out most times. So I was like,
Mm.
why would I not keep doing it?
Yeah,
Until you wake up to like a negative 70%, and you're like, oh, what the fuck? But yeah, now it's more so like, okay, you were clearly over allocated. Like, don't do that anymore. And that's why I say, like, hot potato is good, because if one's gotten like massacred, then maybe another one is up, and that's kind of what is going on right now. So yeah, it's a good lesson.
yeah,
So yeah, that
yeah,
one. And then I guess another big loss is just the multitude of like AI LARPs. There was like AI season where like it was like, oh, stay stuck to your screen and find the AI coin that's gonna come out, catch it at 100K, and it goes to 1 bill. And I
yeah,
kept on trying to catch the one, and there was a few that I did catch, but over time, if you like do it infinity, expand it out, most of them are not working out. And if you win one, you kind of just increase your hand size. I think that's something that I learned to not always do as well. It's like, if you've won, don't increase your hand size, because then if you just lose the next one, what's the point of the win? So little things like
yeah,
that is all things you have to go through. I think everyone has to go through it, no matter how good or bad you are. It's just something you have to experience on chain.
I like that one. Don't increase your hand size.
Yeah. I still do it
Um,
here and there. But yeah, if I and the thing is, if you do it, then be willing to exit way sooner than you want to.
yeah,
And yeah, so it's little things. That's why I think they say like there's multiple ways to skin a cat, right? Like in trading, like there is you can put it in one soul, you can put it in 100 soul. Like you do what you want, but you got to know when to exit. If you've sized up, then maybe you should exit way sooner than the person who's willing to believe and hold it over weeks.
yeah,
And I'm both people sometimes, so it just depends on which one you are and what token you're in.
mm, yeah. I definitely been caught out a few times on that. And I think
Yeah.
that's,
Nah, same.
uh,
Still do to this day. It's just yeah,
yeah.
it's a
I think,
shame, but
mm,
it's a part of being in the trenches. It just happens.
yeah, because I think that's part of the reason why I love like trading so much is that um, it's a combination of position size, timing, and entry and exit, and you kind of need all three to be in your favor for it to be quote unquote like the perfect trade. You know, if you size in too large, you might look at the minute details and then kind of get shaken out before the move. Or if you go in too small, you'll want it to stretch it out longer than a 2x to try and get a 10x, and you can end up round tripping it or
Yeah.
not, making the most of it. And so getting in that flow state of getting all those three things right, I think, yeah, you can definitely do some damage. Um, which leads into my other question was, what
Yeah.
have you had a win like that? Like, what's been your biggest win? Not necessarily around size, but more so to do with your alignment of strategy, your discipline, and execution.
Yeah. So yeah, this probably isn't my biggest win size wise because um, I'm a bit more level headed.
Mm.
But yeah, it recently it was, and this actually ties in super well to everything I've been talking about. Was my biggest win recently was Mitch, the Mitch token that just dropped,
Really?
and
Okay.
you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I've
Yes.
seen the
So
chart. Yeah.
and like yeah, and this is like an extremely funny story as well, is because like I woke up at like 8 a.m. that day, so not super early or anything. I think I saw it, I don't even know, 8 mil or something. Not even that, not even early at all. And everyone in my group chat's like spazzing, like, "Oh fuck's sake, I missed it. This is the Trump. This is that. This is that." Because it was the first CCM coin, and it
Mm.
was like the first coin attached to his name. It had the whole Trump, I guess, way of like 80% locked up, blah 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 blah. And I remember when Trump happened, I just wanted to hold all my tokens because I was like, "Fuck this, I missed it. I'm just holding."
Yeah.
And I saw like massacre over the next 48 hours or 24 hours. So this time I was like, okay,
Mm.
trader AG, you like you like your coins, but this is kind of like Trump. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone thinks they've missed it. So I literally nuked all of my bags and bought with pretty good size into Mitch
Mm.
at like 11 mil or something. I don't even know.
Yeah.
And then it it ended up going to 40 mil, I think.
Dude, nice.
And I yeah, and I was like, holy shit, holy fuck, holy shit, holy fuck. And I ended up exiting at like, I don't even know, 30 mil. I round tripped a bunch. But all in all, like that was by far the best play I've made in a while because I stuck true to like what I wanted to do is like not just hold on to shit when like I think whenever those type of coins drop, in even if you think you missed it, you should just nuke your bags instantly. Like that's just what I think you should do.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna, because of especially because of thin liquidity, you're gonna see them get nuked. So
Yeah.
if you're not nuking it, someone else is to chase the Trump or the Mitch. So that's what I did, and then I was able to catch like a good sizable 3x or so,
Mm.
and then buy back all of my bags way lower. So I was like a double win. So I was very happy with that, and I think that's a good way to go about it when something like that drops, and I'm sure there probably will be another one soon. And I think the best thing to think is if you missed it, that's fine,
Mm,
but please nuke your bags, like because if you don't, other people probably will. At least if you're on Solana. So,
yeah.
or even go into Sol, because Sol will likely pump because people are switching into Sol to buy that coin. For example,
Yeah.
when Trump dropped, Sol went to like 290, right?
Yeah. It wicked.
So
Mm,
yeah, but still. So Sol went to 290. Trump was pumping. Everything else was just getting destroyed.
yeah.
So even if you weren't in Trump, if you were at least in Sol, you were okay. Which I was not. But yeah, this time around, this was like a mini, very mini Trump. Like I shouldn't even compare it to Trump, but it was sort of similar in the sense that like everyone's freaking out, everyone's bags are nuking. You've got to make a decision soon. And I was like, okay, nuke my bags by Mitch, and it worked out.
Yeah.
So
Um, the
yeah,
bags that you
I would say
nuked.
yeah,
Oh, you go. You go.
yeah, yeah. No. I would say like yeah, in recent times, like not size wise, but yeah, just more so strategy and alignment wise. I think that was definitely one of the best trades. I'm quite happy with.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome, man. How did you go about nuking all of your other bags? Because I'm assuming that you had some level of like thought out strategy or investment thesis on those other ones. And the fact that you've nuked them to go chase Mitch's coin means that you're kind of like
Yeah,
risking, being right and not making any money off those ideas for something that's a little bit of a quick flash in the pan. So like
yeah,
what was the reason that you decided to nuke your bag, so to speak? Was it because you just thought it was going to go down? Like what? Yeah, what's the thought process?
yeah. Essentially I thought, okay, this Mitch coin is probably going to eventually slow bleed,
Mm,
but it's at 7 mil. And the circulating is only like what what's that like 1.2 mil or something like that, 2-ish mil. So I was like, okay, and it's only, I guess it doesn't matter for us because we're Aussie, but like I was like, it's only morning, it's only the start, like there's probably going to be a massive influx still into this coin,
mm,
and the only way people are going to go into this coin is by nuking their other bags. So I was like, okay, my coins are going to go down.
yeah.
So I'm going to sell them. Like I don't care about the theses I have on them. Because I knew that I was going to re-enter them lower,
Yes.
or if I really had to, I would re-enter them higher. But I knew that I was going to re-enter my conviction bets. So it was more so about I want to get some exposure to this Mitch coin and or buy my other coins lower because I know they're going to nuke. So I decided to kind of play it, and I didn't play it perfectly. Like I still round tripped a lot of Mitch. There was a few bags which I bought at the same level, but
Mm,
all in all, that was a very successful, good day. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm pretty happy with what I did. And yeah, and as I said, like you're saying like, oh, what made you nuke those bags? What if you end up being wrong? Regardless of what happened, I was gonna buy back my bags.
mm,
If I had to buy them back higher, that would suck, and I would be very unhappy with that. And I'd probably have to take a few days off to like regather my thoughts. But luckily, and I guess it comes down to luck, is luckily Mitch worked out.
yeah.
And fortunately, I took profit very early.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, when Mitch came out, were like, "Oh, this is going to a bill. This is going to," and even I was a bit like that. But I was like, "Okay, well, look, mate, you've literally like almost full ported it. Exit the 2-3x," and I did that.
Nice, man.
So, yeah. So it's happy. Yeah. I'm sure I lost so much on slippage on that day, but I just had to. I just did it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's awesome,
Yeah.
man, because it's a combination of a few things. It's like understanding of market dynamics, understanding that liquidity is thin, understanding that there is a really good opportunity with Mitch's coin given the amount
Yeah.
of liquidity that's locked up, and you took it and you weren't greedy. And that's that again, if you were greedy, it could have ended worse in the sense that you could have round tripped it all. But you didn't. You killed it, man. So yeah, rate that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm happy with that. And I think yeah, the thing right now is like that's hard is like I'm seeing my port kind of just stay in the same figure range. And that's just because liquidity is thin and like things aren't going crazy. But as long as you're playing relatively defensive, I think when that risk on comes back and when you can afford to, I wouldn't recommend full porting because that was just dumb, low key. But if you're able to like even just like 10% port something and it does fucking like 20x, 30x when those days come back, then boom, you've just maybe gone into the next figure range or gone into a much higher range. So yeah, right now relatively slow defensive grind up until you might get that 2x in a week and then boom, okay, now let's regather. And then, little things like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think right now that's the way to play is, if you do happen to size into something, probably exit at a 2x.
Mm, mm. And then maybe more time socializing outside of crypto. Hey.
Yeah, yep. Yep, as a single guy, I need to get out get out of the place a bit more. So yeah, sometimes it's good actually. I think like if you've got good conviction bags, just hold them. If you think the market, as I even said, like I think when Bitcoin and Sol are kind of choppy, that's almost better for on chain.
Mm,
So if Bitcoin and Sol are chopping, which they kind of are right now in that 110 to 124 range, just hold some conviction coins. And if you don't like the narrative at the moment, which I don't like CCM.
yeah.
So, or like, sorry, it's not that I don't like it. I'm just not good at it. Like, I literally don't know what to buy.
Yeah.
So I'm just in some of my ICM bets. I'm in a bit of Sol, and I'm just chilling. I went on a hike on the weekend. I'm just doing things, outside of crypto and being glued to the screen. So, yeah, and I think that is the lifestyle that I would love to live
Mm,
when I am eventually mega, mega, mega rich. But until then, yeah, I think I am quite glued to the trenches because there's opportunity every single day if you can catch it.
yeah. I agree with that. I agree with that. And I think once our 5 viewers on Pump Fun and I decide to buy Newitt and bail you out of this position, we'll get you there. We'll get you there really quickly. We'll get you to the mega mega wealthy status, and then
Yeah,
you can use those funds to help bond the BTIK
let's
token on Pump
go.
Puff Fun. But yeah, how to
Yes, I will. I will. I
how
actually
to
hold. I
mm,
hold 80%
you
BTI.
hold 80%.
So
Okay, great. That's perfect. I was worried for a second that you wouldn't be the sole beneficiary of this action. Do you think when the liquidity comes back,
I'm joking. I'm joking. By the way.
do you think when the liquidity comes back that Solana will
Yep.
benefit the most, or do you think it would be another chain potentially?
Mm. I still think it will be Solana. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. I think in terms of like, are you talking about like the number of X returns?
yeah,
If so, I think Solana.
yeah,
In terms of like market cap and stuff, obviously, I think yeah, I think like Ethereum to 10K, I genuinely think could be like a blow off top vibe before some bad thing happens and we go into like a 3 to 6 month bear. But until then, I think yeah, Ethereum will do well, but that's still only like what a 2x. Whereas I think Solana could genuinely maybe go to something like 600 or so,
yeah,
and then on chain, it's like Pump. I think Pump could go to like top 50 market cap, which is what is that? I don't even know what that is, but um, that's still got like a probably good liquid 5 to 10x to go, and then some of the Pump Fund coins, it's just hard to know which ones. See, that's
yeah,
the issue. But some of them, I think, will genuinely do the 100x's.
Yeah.
It's more so just like which ones are out yet. Do we know what they are? It could even be something like Troll to 2 or 3 bill. You know, that would be a 10x from here, wouldn't it? So
Mm.
yeah, um, I think yeah, Sol will. Whereas with like Ethereum, I don't know. Like, I don't know if people necessarily buy the ETH betas for high returns. It more so might be perp guys who are like sitting on swing longs on like, 2x leverage and they're
Mm.
happy with, like a 80% move
Yeah.
with high six figures or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, which, I'm not that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So you think the multiples are primarily on the Solana ecosystem rather than the Ethereum, if
Yeah.
Ethereum is to do really well.
I think so. I think so. But yeah, I think so. Yeah. But like in saying that, it's extremely risky. And I probably wouldn't recommend it to like friends coming in or something. Like if someone was coming in, I would probably say just buy some pump fun,
Mm.
maybe buy troll or something,
Yeah.
and then sit in a bunch of salt and just do that. I wouldn't obviously they wouldn't listen to me, which is fair because I wouldn't even listen to myself, and I would try to catch that 100x. But yeah, I think it's very difficult because as we know, even in 2023, like I mean, I wasn't making. I mean, I did on that C play, obviously, right? But it was still very hard to
Yeah.
sometimes know because if you see something just go to 70 mil, it's like, oh my god, do I fucking buy or not? Like you don't know. So it's never going to be easy, even when it is risk on. But as long as you're willing to like walk away with the 2x or the 3x, then yeah, it'll be easier
Yeah.
than what we have right now, I think.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a really good point. Um, this is I've kind of you've kind of touched on this throughout the duration of the pod, but this is a good chance for you to summarize.
Yeah.
Um, as this is your first cycle, what would you say are some of your best learnings so far? And you can talk to them. You can do
Yeah.
some dot points. Yeah, what would you say your best learnings so far?
Okay. Okay. My best learnings are one would definitely be to not borrow conviction
Yep.
at all. Um, it's completely fine to find out of a play from someone, and then do your own due diligence on it, deep dive into it. I even recommend like grabbing a piece of paper and just being like, okay, this is the token. Who are the devs? Or, if it's a meme coin, what is the law? Why do people like it? Who are in it? What are the
Mm.
KOLs backing it? Because, that still matters a bit. And just little things like that. And just be like, hey, this is my developed conviction on this coin. And this is why I want to hold it to 100 mil or whatever.
Yep.
But yeah, don't rely on this random KOL being like, oh yeah, this is going to a bill, and it's just not going to work out. Another one is maybe just like, and this is for me is like just really try to fall in love with the sell button.
Mm.
Uh, like even sometimes just buy one soul of a coin and just sell it at 2 soul just to be like, holy shit, I just made $200
Yeah.
from selling that, and like try to actually be like, holy shit, that's a very nice steak dinner if I wanted to,
Yeah.
Um, because yeah, I think sometimes like even I do as well. Like I get so carried away, and I'm nowhere near the size of getting carried. I mean, not being impressed with something like that of a win. Like I should still be very happy with the smaller wins, which is something I'm trying to learn myself. Uh, Maybe another thing as well is like don't always be fully allocated. I think being fully allocated has like messed me over so many times.
Yeah.
And if you are fully allocated or you have a wallet where you just are always fully allocated and hot potatoing, then maybe understand like, okay, we're entering a bit of a bearish pullback zone. Bitcoin is rejecting the range highs. Trenches aren't looking good. Just nuke everything into Sol.
Yeah.
Even if that means nuking one of your plays that you have super high conviction on and is eventually going to go up. If you think right now the market is bearish, then there's nothing wrong with like nuking it and then buying back lower,
Mm.
which is something that was really hard for me. And it's still hard for me to do because I'm always bullish. I'm like always bullish. Um, but yeah, sometimes if I'm like, okay, market looks bad, maybe I should nuke this coin for a bit, or take some profit and then re-enter lower. You know, yeah, well, those are probably my takeaways. I think
Yeah.
another thing maybe is like, I don't know, always try to stack a bit of Bitcoin or like even like a ETF outside of crypto, or buy a property or something, even if it's on a mortgage, something like that. It keeps me more level headed, and it knows that like, not that, I mean, it will, but if things were to go very bad, I still have a bit of good wealth in Bitcoin, outside in property,
Mm.
in ETFs, and I'm not gonna die. So yeah, I think not relying on it as like your sole source of wealth is probably a good thing as well. Um, and yeah, that's probably about it.
Yeah. I really like those.
I would say that's probably my.
Yeah. So you've got don't borrow conviction. You've got fall in love with selling. You've got nuking even your highest conviction bags, even if like if you think the market's generally going to go lower, with the anticipation that you
Yep.
can buy back lower, which is good, and then stack Bitcoin or even ETF derivatives, or even taking out a mortgage to kind of buy a property, like having some level-headed exposure outside of crypto. Yeah, I really like those, man. They're good.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's fair. And like I say them, but I don't even practice all of them. Like sometimes it's very hard for me to, sell my bags, or sometimes if I have a, direct debit plan for Bitcoin, I'll switch it into on chain. Like there's things that I do that I shouldn't, and I'm still trying to get better at those. So yeah, but those, I would say those are generally the um, overarching learnings that I have and will develop over the rest of my life whilst I'm in crypto.
Yeah, I think the nuking of your highest conviction bag, even if you feel like the market looks shit, is probably really tough to do. The fact that
It
you're already
is.
talking about that is incredible, because I don't think many people want to do that or have done that.
Yeah. And like, yeah, I'm not even too sure if I've done it that much, but if the market is not looking good, then you're probably better off de-risking a bit, or at least nuking most of your other bags, Like, it's not worth still being allocated because it's like, oh, I think these are going to go higher. It doesn't matter
Mm,
because you're not going to like seeing that 50% drawdown, and
yeah,
then maybe it doesn't come back. So yeah, yeah, that's probably about it. There's probably a few more as well, like touch grass a bit more.
mm,
Don't worry about missing out on plays. Uh, don't compare yourself to everyone. I think another one I had was stop trying to become a multi-millionaire in like one cycle or one like season. It's not going to happen, or it's going to like try, it's going to like I guess facilitate, or like I guess make you round trip, or
mm,
make you become someone that I don't want to become. So
yeah,
you take your time, be defensive, genuinely get good experience, and then it'll come with time.
mm,
Um, but I think a lot of people, and I think maybe this is just the Twitter people that I like, the following page and stuff, is like, I know they're all fake KOLs, but like a lot of people are like, you can start with 10K and become this in like 1 month if you're locked in. It's like probably not going to happen. Probably don't listen to that type of advice. Take your own time. develop your own strategy, and then over time it can happen, and it will
Yeah.
happen. But yeah, stop trying to rush it, because rushing it will just make you lose.
Yeah. No, that's a really, really good point. I think so many people rush, me included, um,
Yeah,
and like the accessibility to the likes of perps trading is probably a part of that as well. Like you can loan out, or you can borrow and get 10 times your position. Why wouldn't you do that if you could make it in a quicker fashion? So yeah, I think that's really good advice.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
My last question, before I hand it over to you, is is there a life outside of crypto for you, or do you have some intentions to double down in the space? Like, what is the future of AG looking like?
Yeah, the future for TraderAG. Well, I still work full time,
Mm,
um, and I think when I first started, I think it was to try and become as rich as I can and live like a super materialistic life, and do all the cool things. Um, Now I don't know if my what's it called? When you're, oh god, I don't know what it is. Well, anyways, when you get wiser. But yeah, I don't know if now it's not that. Now it's more so just like I'm trying to come up with a figure in my head that I think is sustainable enough to comfortably quit and or make it a full-time thing,
mm,
and or maybe not have to rely as heavily on a proper full-time job. Like I would, like for example, I'm really into running and gym. I would love to work as like a personal trainer on the side,
yeah,
or um, you know, host some like gym sessions or whatever it may be. Even like even just be like a casual personal trainer at a gym, like just a casual gym or something like that. But obviously we all know like that you're not gonna live comfortably off just that. So
yeah,
if I can get to a point, and this is something that I'm like kind of in the process of drafting, what does that figure look like? What does that figure look like for, you know, if I am to have a wife and kids, I would hope. What what if I am to give some to my parents? Or fortunately, I'm in a position where I don't think my parents need that much help. But still, like little things like that, like what does that figure look like? And maybe you think that figure's enough, but then you realize, oh shit, I'm being very um oh, oh my god, I don't know what the word is when you don't want to spend that much because
frugal.
oh, now frugal. I'm being very frugal because now I don't work and I rely on this full time. Or maybe you're not able to take the trades that you used to because you're not working full time anymore. So these are all things that as I would like to think 25 is still somewhat young, but maybe
Yeah,
crypto people don't think that. But I think it's still young. So yeah, I think over the next 10 years or so, that is something that I can figure out, or 5 years, let's say. Um, and yeah, until then, I'm just trying to enjoy life, be as fit and good looking as I can, and just try to do all the things that I enjoy, whilst also making money on the side, and hopefully, potentially one day being able to walk away and then just be like a personal trainer at a gym or something. But yeah, I don't think I have aspirations of doubling down and creating something.
mm,
At the end of the day, I just like trading. I like buying low and selling high. And
yeah,
even if I do eventually, oh no, I know I will get to a very bigger size, I will just do it with more size. Or I
yeah,
might just switch to perps. Or I might switch to like swing trading. Or like, people like Boot or whatever. I don't know. I'm not putting words in his mouth, but I assume a lot of the wealthier people probably just sit on longer term plays and enjoy life.
mm,
And that's something that I would like to do.
yeah.
Um, so yeah,
That's really
who
wholesome.
knows though? Yeah,
That's really wholesome.
yeah. So that's what I think. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that you think you might be able to walk away. You're kind of stuck here for ever now, all your
Well,
internet
sorry,
friends are
sorry.
here.
When I say sorry, when I say walk away, I mean walk away from like a 9 to 5.
Mm,
I will always be in the trenches and buying shitters, but it's more so like maybe I'm not relying on it as much to get me to a net worth that I want.
Yeah.
Like I would hope that it's just for fun, and the actual net worth grind is like some swing long that I have,
Mm,
or a big ass position in a ETH swing. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, but yeah, the trenches. I'm always going to be in it. I love it. I love that shit. It's so
Mm,
fun. So I'll always be there. But I would hope eventually I don't have to like care that much about what's going on to my sub 1 mil shitter. You know. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe even when you're like a massive whale, you still care. I don't know. We'll see.
yeah. I want to know what happens when you stop being single, and are you going to be still watching the charts on these sub 1 mil shitters? Are you gonna pivot to more wholesome things?
Yeah, yeah. No, that's the thing. That's the thing. I would hope so as well. Like, you don't want like you don't want to be the guy who's just always on his phone looking at a sub 1 mil shitter. Like, oh no, you know, you want to be hiking with your girlfriend or something. So
100%.
you know,
100%.
so yeah, let's see. Let's
Yeah.
see. But until we're there, we will be looking at the 1 mil shitters.
We
So
have to. We have to
yeah,
look at the 1 mil shitters.
you
We got to
have,
be
you have,
prepared. Yeah.
But wag me. We're all gonna make it. It's just more so when is the risk on back? When is ETH going to 10K? And when are my bags going up? But yeah,
Yeah.
all in all, I love it. It's so good. I'm so happy I found crypto. I think it's amazing.
Mm,
And I think this is like, how I was saying, well, how did I get into crypto? I was always looking for like an alternative source of income or something. Was it drop shipping business, this, whatever the fuck? I don't know. I think I found it in crypto. I love
yeah.
it. Buying low, selling high for the most part, make money, be happy.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to do.
Yeah. No, and dude, I think the level of maturity that you have, just with those dot points that you summarized at the end, is insane for only being in it since 2023. And the fact that you're still here, knowing full well that, like you said, there's no more top blasters. You're not getting a sub 1 mil coin running to a billion or anything like that currently. And yeah, I think you should be super proud of your efforts so far. So yeah, if we do get ETH to 10K, yeah, I have no doubt I will be buying new it and praying and using your conviction. I'm
Yeah,
going
yeah.
against your number one rule: borrowing someone
No,
else's
it's all good,
conviction.
man. It's all good. I'll probably have sold it by the time you're in. Yeah, I'm looking for my 20% scalp.
Oh my
I'm
god,
joking.
I'm getting dumped on by the newbies, man. This is not good. This is not good. Um, but yeah,
Nah,
do.
but
Mm,
I just want to preface like everything I said. I still don't follow perfectly, so I'm not some go-to trader, but I am trying my best to play it out into fruition. So yeah, yeah. But no,
nice.
it's good. It's good.
Nah, right that. And yeah, so dude, those were all the questions I sort of had for this stream. So I
Yeah.
wanted to hand it back to you. Did you wanted to touch on anything specific? Was there anything that you had in your mind that you wanted to potentially talk about?
Dude, I don't think so, man. I think I like fucking talked so much more than I thought I would. Um, like because I was like, oh, I should think about some things to say. I didn't end up really thinking much, but then I talked everything I wanted to say and more. I think I'm really happy that I touched on that life thing.
Mm,
And I think like a lot of people, and look, maybe I'm not a super ambitious guy. I don't know. But like a lot of people come in here and think like they want to, get really, really, really rich and then keep doing it and then keep going and keep going and keep going. And it's like, and who knows, maybe when I do hit a certain figure, I will just keep going. I don't know.
mm,
But I want to eventually see the light at the end of the tunnel and be like, okay, now I'm happy to not walk away. Like I'm never going to walk away, but it's more so like now I'm like, okay, now I can afford to not have to ask for leave from work. I can just go on that fucking 6 month Europe holiday if I want
yeah.
to. Things like that. And I hope that I actually do things like that because that's the whole point of using all this time to find an alternative source of income and make money. It's like, do you just want to keep chasing a higher net worth figure, or do you want to maybe try do something? Or
Yeah,
like, even if it's giving it back to your parents or going on holiday with your family or things like that. That's kind of what I want to get out from it. And yeah, that's probably what keeps me going is like, the term financial freedom or something like that. So um, yeah, that's what I like. And I try to enjoy life as much as I can.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I don't
but
know
yeah.
if a half marathon is the pinnacle of enjoying life, but you did smash one of those out around the time when I first met you, and you did a really good job. And I think it's really
So
wholesome that you want to be a PT, because I think being like actively involved and helping people get fit and healthy is probably quite rewarding, to be honest with you.
yeah. Um, but yeah, no, that's about it. I think that's pretty much all I had to say. Um, I guess there's not much else I want to add. I think I pretty much ticked off everything. Um, and yeah, I
Yeah.
might as well ask you like, what are your like thoughts on cycles, or like what do you like? Do you I because I assume you probably disagree with the cycle take.
No,
What?
I'm pretty open to it. Um,
Yeah,
I think that I think the market is just getting more efficient over time,
yeah, yeah.
and
Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah,
and because of that, you have these periods of where a lot of stuff don't make sense. Like the 2023, like for me, I think we brought the cycle forward a year. So 2024, if you look at some relevant charts and irrelevant charts, you have a similar sort of structure to what we experienced in 2021. Um,
yeah,
and from my learnings of people that have come on the podcast, um, I believe that the we'll probably get a heinous correction. Like I think we will
yeah,
get something quite bad,
yeah,
because I think the idea of like off principle alone, I think the idea of Michael Saylor having 3% of the Bitcoin supply, I think that is just, I think that'll be a thing in the next 10 years where it'll be insane to think that someone ever had that amount of the supply. So like I try to forward think
yeah,
of
yeah,
situations
yeah,
that can make sense. So I think when you
yeah,
get the extrapolations of price, it's it comes down to now like frameworks of being able to manage those. And I think you touched on it as well. So adjusting from
yeah,
conditions where you're holding it for quite some time to then adjusting it to where you're selling it for like a 2x or just before a 2x. So I think those
yeah,
sort of people will end up doing well over time because they're starting to manage their risk a lot more regardless of the conditions. Um, I and I think that the the how do I explain it? The correction in 2022 was similar to the stock market in the fact that we got a pullback in anticipation of rate cuts that came the year after. Or sorry,
yeah,
they came in 2022, but we started pulling back at the end of 2021. And because of that, we had massive amounts of leverage unwind in the
yeah.
system, and it kind of spawned the bear market. So I anticipate we will get an acceleration to the downside when we perceive
Mm,
that it doesn't seem plausible that it will do that. It's kind of doomerish to talk about that, but I think ETH to 10k. I think your idea around that has definitely got me thinking as well, because a lot of the on-chain stuff that can get attention is actually like quite low in volume and market cap respective to Bitcoin, like the sheer size difference. And so if there is something that generates a wealth effect for money to flow into the markets, then yeah, we can see those extrapolations. Um, and I think that there's always opportunity as well. So the 4 year cycle, unless we get a increase from now until the end of the year, that would indicate that it is an extrapolation that you want to sell into, then we probably will continue to grind upwards while everything bleeds. Um, yeah, I think it chops and changes, but I loosely hold on to that idea because, yeah, I don't know. My thoughts are a little bit scrambled on this one, as you can probably tell.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think, yeah, like I'm kind of on the same basis as well. It's like
Mm,
just be very defensive, very,
mm,
very defensive. And I think I touched on that as well. I think yeah, if something like the sailor like thing happens and there's a massive washout, like he decides to sell off some or starts selling bits, like then but yeah, we just have to see how it plays out. I
yeah,
think that's it. Yeah, I don't have much other questions besides, maybe some personal stuff when we catch up.
yeah,
But
dude. We'll have to catch up again, man. We'll have to get
yeah,
you out
yeah,
of
we
my
will.
way.
We will. We
Um,
will.
but yeah, no, we'll wrap it up there because I think you've done a solid shift for about 2 hours and 15 minutes. So,
Yeah,
um,
that's insane. I genuinely was worried like I will only chat for 20 minutes. I, I'm very keen to listen to this back and see what I yapped on about. Probably regret some stuff, but yeah, no,
you
I'm
did
happy.
fine,
I'm
man.
happy I was able to get over 2 hours because that's insane to me, honestly.
It
It's good.
always sounds long, to be honest with you. It always sounds long, and then you just get talking, and then you check the time, and you're like,
Yeah,
oh my god, like an hour and 50 has gone by. That's crazy.
yeah.
Um,
No, it's good.
and it's filled with lots of alpha. I hope you know that. Like, I think you are an incredibly mature trader for someone who's only been in it for 2 years. Like, yeah, I got no doubt you'll do well,
I
man.
agree. Yeah. No,
Yeah, and I appreciate
no,
you
no,
sharing those
I
points.
definitely agree as well. I thank you. Yeah. Thank you, man. I appreciate it as well. And obviously, I respect you a lot. So that's why I'm on here.
No, it's all good. And look, I reckon you'll respect me a lot more if I can run a sub 2 hour half marathon. So I got to somehow get that into my goals
I
to
will.
strive
I will
for.
definitely respect you.
Um,
Yeah. Are
yeah,
you
but
doing any coming up
I think
around?
my regarding running, I did a half marathon. I did no prep, and my goal
Yes.
was to just not stop running.
Yes.
And I didn't. I did that. So I didn't stop running, and I think I got two
Nice.
hours and 22 minutes or something like that. So I think
Awesome, man.
with at
Oh, yeah.
least a couple of months practice, I could easily get
Get
that
under
down
two
by
hours.
like
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
minutes. Yeah, I think it's doable. Um,
No, definitely. That's good, man. All right. Well, we'll do a few training runs together, maybe.
Yeah, we will. We will. And also, if anyone's listening to this, like, I don't run, I do other things for fitness. So if you're laughing at my 2 hours and 20 minutes, it's no prep, all right? It was no prep, and I pulled it off. It was actually really painful the next day. I couldn't move, but we got there. We got there in the end.
Yeah, not gonna lie, doing that without any prep is kind of insane.
Yeah, I had to
Um,
start out with like almost a walking pace. Like I was jogging on the spot almost because I don't have the technique down. I was not uh,
yeah,
like limbic enough for it to flow good, if that makes sense. I had to
yeah,
like kind
yeah,
of before I started building up speed, I needed to get my body into the rhythm of just running at a very slow pace before I could build up from it.
yeah. No, I get you. I get you.
Yeah. But dude, I think we might wrap it up there. So
Yeah, we wrap it up. We wrap it up.
yeah, thank you for everyone who tuned in. Appreciate you guys listening on the live stream, and if you're watching it back, I hope you got some value out of this stream as I did. So feel free to like and subscribe to Brotato Capital. TraderAG is on Twitter, or formerly known or commonly known as X, and his details will be posted in the link below. So make sure you go give him a follow. And AG, appreciate you coming on, man, and thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, mate. Thank you. Thank you so much.